Hey there, I'm Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and I'm at the TODA Theater for the Crypto Oasis Arte Talks. Tonight, here we are joined by Umair, the founder of Myco, one of the speakers. Let me know how it was being up there on stage in front of everyone.
I think it was phenomenal getting an opportunity in front of a very esteemed audience and a highly crypto native audience, and talking about what Myco is building, as well as the potential that streaming as a whole has within the intersection of Web3. Particularly enjoyed it. The stage is fabulous. I think it's the first time I was speaking at a stage, which is structured in this manner, because, it's a very wide room and a great audience, a great experience altogether. I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. And I was very interested in your thoughts on Web3 streaming, specifically watch and earn. That's not a concept I had thought of too much before. There's move to earn, play to earn. But can you explain what watch to earn means?
So I think watch and earn is the only, in my opinion, it's the only sustainable form of growth within Web3. And why is that there is a real revenue driver behind watch to earn, right? Because all the streaming platforms, existing streaming platforms, are actually monetizing consumption against advertising, right? And advertising is real revenue that comes in. So creating a sustainable watch and earn model is actually very simple. It has to be done at the roots, so an existing platform cannot do it. But if you do it at the roots, it is so sustainable, because all you're doing is actually you're generating real revenue and converting a part of it into earnings and monetization for the viewers, right? So instead of minting rewards like some of those move to earn projects, which leads to lack of sustainability, right?
Because it depends on the amount of users at the time.
Because there's no real revenue coming in. Whereas all we are doing is we're basically accumulating real revenue and diverting that back to the users who deserve it.
So is the application comparable to like Netflix, for example? Like, is it one of those streaming companies?
Yeah, so we're basically, how we define ourselves is that we're a vertically integrated video streaming platform that is a combination of an SVOD like Netflix or Amazon, an AVOD like YouTube, because we also have the horizontal shorts as well as the vertical shorts. So we also have the vertical shorts, which is the kind of content that you would see on TikTok or on Instagram Reels. So in a very seamless manner, we've actually integrated all of that content into one interface. And the biggest thing I think we do, which is also very differentiated, is that we also do sports. So we do live sports. On top of all of this, we also do live sports. And everything comes under our watch and earn ecosystem that we've created.
And how do you stack up against competitors? Because I know, for example, Mark Cuban created Fireside, which he also claims is a Web3 streaming platform. So how do you differentiate yourself from others?
I think for us, the biggest differentiator is the fact that we're actually moving, right? And while others are obviously, there are many players that came after us and said that we're going to build something similar. But the fact that we already are present in more than 200 countries, we've got more than 2.5 million users. Last month, we actually did 1 million monthly active users that we crossed. We've streamed some of the most prestigious sports successfully. We've got more than 600 influencers on the platform. So I would say, this race of being the best can only be defined by actual growth, right? And actual numbers that you deliver. And I think that's what we do. We put our heads down, we're very humble, and we've been building for the past 2 years, and the numbers speak for themselves. So yeah.
You said something interesting during your talk that made me laugh. You said that Web3 products are built, it's the same products built for the same people, and it's mostly geeks and gamblers.
Exactly.
Can you go into that a little bit more, about what you meant?
So I feel that the growth for any industry actually comes when it taps into the real consumer, right? And the real consumer, I think the shift, the point of the paradigm shift actually happens when the transition into the technology is happening in a way where the consumer doesn't even realize it, right? Till now, the consumer has to learn. The consumer has to download a wallet. They need to learn trading. Even within the gaming ecosystems, they need to go out of their comfort zone. Whereas what streaming is doing, for example, the model that we've created, you're actually part of the platform. You're consuming content that you would already do. And all of a sudden, you realize that you are earning something which is against the real revenues. Whereas what you're earning is coming into your wallet. And that wallet sits in the Web3 space. So that is where the transition happens, and you realize you were already in Web3 without even realizing it. That's how you're gonna bring in the real consumer. So I'm not saying streaming is the only use case. Sure, there are other very valuable use cases out there, but the growth will come with the actual consumer and not the geeks and gamblers. So.
And what kind of rewards can I get on Myco?
So, as I said, we have a very clean, transparent process because everything is done on the blockchain. So whatever the content makes, let's say there's a piece of content that makes $100 based on the impressions that are delivered, $65 will go to the channel owner, which in some cases is Myco, and in some cases it's a third-party creator, whereas you as the viewer is going to get 35%. So you're going to get basically the value of your eyeball, you're going to get 35% of that. And everyone's eyeball is valued differently, right? So for example, you are a different socioeconomic segment compared to someone else here, right? So you have different value associated to your eyeball, which is defined by the different programmatic ad exchanges that exist in the world. That value is already being assigned to your eyeball. All we're doing is we're giving 35% of that back to you, right? So.
Okay. And then any advice that you have for Web3 founders out there?
When you build something, build with passion, build for the long term, build with a 20-year goal. And again, I will re-emphasize the fact that build for the real consumer and not for the short term. Don't build for the gamblers because ultimately, you will be left in a position where you will have to deal with circumstances of doing something which you shouldn't have done, right? And unfortunately, within the Web3 space, this is a real challenge. I have had friends who have started projects with a very short-term vision, and then it has ended up in a way that they were not able to do something else in their life, right? Although they were very talented. So I think you have to start with the right mindset. You have to build for the long term. You have to build for the real consumer, and hopefully you'll do well.
All right. Well, thank you for your time tonight, Umair.
Thank you.